Well, if you're considering buying a new construction home, whether that's a single family home, townhouse, or a condo, you've come to the right place. We're going to go through the pros and the cons of buying a new construction home, and make sure you stick around to the end where I'm going to give you a pro tip for buying pre-construction, especially if you're buying from out of province. Now, being a local realtor, I help buyers all the time with new construction purchases. Now, I'm local to the Airdrie, Calgary area, and I know the builders around here quite well. But if you're looking to build somewhere else in our province, like let's say Edmonton or Red Deer, let me know and I can connect you with a new construction pro in any other area of Alberta. Alright, so let's get into it. The pros and the cons of buying a new construction home. And we're going to start with the pros first, and then we'll move into the cons after that. Now, to start us off, pro number one, you get a brand new home. This one's pretty obvious. You're getting a home that no one has ever lived in before. The materials are all brand new, the appliance is new, everything is just new and shiny, and you get to move into a home that's in the best condition it's ever been in. Which brings us now to pro number two, which is the warranty. With any new construction home, you're going to get warranty on that. Here in Alberta, we have a tiered system that gives you up to 10 years of warranty. Now, this is what our structure of our warranty looks like. So first up, you get 1 year parts and labor warranty on basically everything. Anything that goes wrong with the home, it can be dealt with within that first year. This could be anything from big issues down to simple nail pops in the drywall. This first year all covers it. For 2 years, you get parts and labor warranty on all the distribution systems. So this includes any of the systems or components related to the electrical, plumbing, gas, heating, ventilation, air conditioning if you have it. So any leaks, furnace issues, hot water tank issues, things like that, you got 2 years of coverage on those items. And the next tier is the 5-year warranty, which covers the building envelope, which is anything that makes up the exterior of the home. And this would cover defects with things like siding, your roof, windows, exterior doors, and things like that. And there is also the option to extend this tier of the warranty an additional 2 years, which would give you a 7-year building envelope warranty. And then on to the last tier of the warranty, which is a 10-year warranty on the structure of the home. And this would cover any part of the home that is load-bearing and important to the overall safe structure of the house. Things like the foundation, trusses, load-bearing walls, and things like that. And that's a quick run through of the warranty that you get on your home here in Alberta. So that's definitely a pro for new construction, because that warranty can be really nice to have in case anything goes wrong. Now, keep in mind though that this warranty is transferable to new owners. So if you're not buying a pre-construction home, but you're buying a resale home that's less than 10 years old, some of that warranty would still be active on that home as well. Now, for pro number three, the low maintenance costs. Now, especially during the first 2 to 5 years under warranty, your maintenance costs will be very low, since not much is needing to be fixed or replaced, and if it is, your warranty is likely to cover that. So if you like to have less surprises, a new build can definitely be nice compared to a 30 or 40-year-old home where there's a lot more ongoing maintenance. Now, of course, the longer you're in your home, you'll start to come into some maintenance that needs to be done, but at least for the first 5 to 10 years, there's going to be much less. And now for pro number four, you don't have to deal with any bidding wars. In a market like we're in right now, depending on what you're looking for, as a buyer, you could be caught up in a bidding war if you're looking in the resale market. But with builders during very busy times, they might just have a wait list, but you aren't directly competing with another buyer. The builder price is going to be the price that it will be, and it won't be driven up like crazy from that one desperate buyer that's willing to pay way over market value, which is kind of nice. Now, of course, on the flip side to this is that in our current market, most builders aren't going to negotiate down on their price either. So if you don't want it at their price, they're going to move on to the next buyer that does. But no worries of bidding wars can definitely make for a more calm experience when you're buying a home. Now, for our fifth and final pro is that you can make your home your home. Meaning that you can build it the way you want, with the types of rooms and finishes that you want in your house. If you have a specific style or you want things to be a certain way, then building can be a very good option, as opposed to trying to find the perfect home on the resale market, especially if you choose a custom or semi-custom builder that's willing to make the changes that you want. So building from scratch gives you the luxury of having your home exactly the way you want it, without having to settle for something that works but isn't the perfect fit. And that does it for our 5 pros of building a new home. At this point, it sounds pretty good, but now we're going to dig into some of the cons of buying that pre-construction home. So con number 1, and that is the open timeline of a build. Now, no one can really say how long a build will take to complete exactly. Builders typically give a range. For example, on single family homes right now, most are going to say something like 10 to 12 months. And for condos, they might say, for example, summer 2026. But they can't give a definite date at the start of the project. And of course, this makes sense because it would be impossible to predict an exact date, but it can make it tricky as a buyer. If you still have a home to sell, for example, or you're in a rental that you need to move out of at a certain date, having an up in the air possession on your new home can make things a bit tricky. And on top of the open timeline, there can be additional unexpected delays throughout a build. We've become all too familiar with this in recent years, with supply chain issues causing some builds to be delayed 6 to 8 months in some cases. Now, we're not seeing much of that anymore, but there is always the risk of unexpected delays. Now, if you're a buyer that's not selling the home you're in now, or you have a month-to-month rental, this might not be a big deal for you, but it is something to consider. And now for con number 2, and that's the additional taxes on a new build purchase. So here in Alberta, although our sales tax is lower than most provinces, you still do need to pay GST on the purchase of a new home, as opposed to when you buy a home on the resale market from another homeowner, where that GST doesn't apply. Now, this is rolled into the total purchase price of a home, so you pay it off with your monthly mortgage, but it is important to know that that cost is there. And when you're looking at new builds online, some include the GST on their prices and others don't, so make sure you're watching for that. It'll usually be noted on there somewhere if the GST is included or not. And if it's not, just go ahead and add that 5%. On lower priced homes though, you might be eligible for a GST rebate on a portion of that GST cost. So if this is the case, then the builder will typically claim the rebate themselves, and they'll reduce the price of the home to reflect the rebate that they'll receive. And now moving on to con number 3, and this is one that a lot of people don't know about, and that is all the additional costs after you take possession of your new home. So when you build a home, there are a number of items that are typically left unfinished, unless of course you pay extra to the builder to have them finished. A few of the most common examples of this in new homes are not including a washer dryer, window coverings, backyard landscaping, side fencing, or back decks. Some builders now have started including that washer dryer as standard, but many still don't. As far as landscaping, you'll often get the front yard landscaped with some grass and maybe a tree or some shrubs, but typically the backyard is left just dirt. And you'll usually get a rear fence that's installed by the developer along the back side of your lot, but the side fencing between the houses will be the responsibility of the buyer and their neighbors. All these items added up could add around $20,000 or more that would need to be paid post-possession and wouldn't be rolled into your mortgage. So it's definitely something to keep in mind and be ready for. And on the topic of finances, that brings us to con number 4, which is the higher financial risk of a new build. So the timeline of a new home, as we mentioned earlier, could be anywhere from 8 months up to a few years away. So knowing this, you'll need to make sure that you're able to be approved for a mortgage down the road when the build is complete. And at the start or throughout the build, you'll have paid anywhere from 5 to 20% of the purchase price in deposits. And if you can't close on the home come completion, you forfeit that deposit money to the builder. So if you're signing a contract for a new build, you need to be sure that you'll be able to get the financing when the time comes. Now, of course, there are options to get a new construction 12-month rate hold pre-approval, but if you lose your job, you buy a fancy new car, or you just have some unexpected financial struggles from the time that you pay the first deposit to the time that you're closing, it could be a big loss for you financially if you're not able to close. Now, comparing this to the resale home market, where when you buy a home, you're typically closing in just 1 to 3 months, and there's way less opportunity for unexpected financial issues to happen. Now moving on to con number 5, and that is that you'll simply be paying more for your brand new build than you will for a comparable resale home. And this is the opposite to what a lot of people have heard or believe about the new construction market. You see, back in the day, it used to be that if you bought a new build home or bought into a pre-construction condo project, you would receive a discount for the length of time that it takes to complete and the additional risk that you're taking on as the buyer. But now, with the high demand that there is on new build homes, the builders and developers are able to charge a premium for those who want to build from scratch. And in almost all cases, I see a comparable home on the resale market will be cheaper, and oftentimes much cheaper, than the new one is. And then you add on the additional costs that we just spoke about, things like the washer and dryer, landscaping, fencing, and window coverings that are all typically already done in a resale home, and you can really start to see the value difference. Ultimately, with a new home, you're paying a premium for the luxury of building your home your way, picking your layouts and finishes, taking advantage of the extended closing timeline if you're able to, and just simply for having a new home. And to many, those perks are worth paying the higher price tag for, but if those things aren't a big deal to you, then you may be better off saving some money and going for a resale home. Well, there you have it. 5 pros and 5 cons of building a new construction home. And now for your pro tip when buying a new construction home. Of course, I'm biased in saying this, but I think it's true, and that is you should always use realtor representation when buying a new build home. You see, all the builder prices that you see already include the realtor fee that they'll pay to your realtor, so you have no additional cost to use a realtor to represent your best interest throughout the process. And though many might think so, you're not going to save any money by not using a realtor on the build. If no realtor is used, then the builder will pocket that money that would have been used for the realtor fees. They'll use it for things like additional marketing and things like that. And in addition to not costing you anything, a local realtor can give insight on the builders in an area, who's good, who's not so good. They can also help you determine the best neighborhoods to build in, what areas might have the most promising future appreciation, or what areas might just be a good fit for you and your lifestyle. Of course, every builder's sales rep that you talk to is always going to say that their area and their builds are the best around, but a realtor can help give you a more unbiased answer regarding what you should buy. So that's your pro tip. Use a realtor. And as you may know, I'm a local realtor in the Airdrie, Calgary area. If you'd like to discuss building a home in this area, please reach out and I'd be happy to discuss and make a plan that's best for you. Or if you're considering building somewhere else in Alberta, also let me know and I can connect you with another agent in any other area of Alberta with great experience in the pre-construction area. And again, my name is Brad Walker with Real Broker. I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a like if you did, and we'll see you in the next video.